friends, it's another Wiki Wednesday, and this month we are going to talk about dinosaurs. The first dinosaur we will talk about is the Triceratops in honor of my stuffy Pi-ceratops. Daddy thinks dinosaurs are cool, so they must be. Let's find out together. The link for Kittle, the kids' encyclopedia, is in the description below if you want to read along. Triceratops facts for kids. Triceratops was a huge herbivorous ceratopsid dinosaur from the late Cretaceous period. Its name came from having 3 horns on its head. They were mainly found in North America. Hey, that's where I live too. As adults, they grew up to be 30 feet long, 9 feet tall, and probably weighed around 12,000 pounds. That's 1,000 times what Pupper Pi weighs. Triceratops was a low browser with a bony beak in front of its jaws. The jaws had close-set grinding teeth. Its defense had to stand up to attacks from taller theropods, hence the shield which covered its neck. Holes made by teeth have been found on the bony frill behind the horns and on the sacrum part of the spine above the pelvis. Tee-hee, that means it's right by the butt. Skull. The most distinctive feature is their large skull, among the largest of all land animals. The largest known skull is estimated to have been 8.2 feet in length when complete, and could reach almost a third of the length of the entire animal. It bore a single horn on the snout above the nostrils, and a pair of horns approximately 3 feet long, with one above each eye. Most other ceratopsids had large holes in their frills, while those of the Triceratops were noticeably solid. Limbs. Triceratops species were sturdy, with strong limbs and short 3-hoofed hands and 4-hoofed feet. The posture of these dinosaurs has long been the subject of some debate. Originally, it was believed that the front legs of the animal had to be sprawling at angles from the thorax in order to bear the weight of the head. This stance can be seen in paintings by Charles Knight and Rudolf Zallinger. However, evidence of trackways and reconstructions of skeletons show that Triceratops and other ceratopsids had an upright stance during normal locomotion, with the elbows flexed and slightly bowed out. The stance was intermediate between fully upright and fully sprawling, similar to the modern rhinoceros. Paleobiology. Although Triceratops are commonly portrayed as herd animals, there is little evidence that they lived in herds. In 2012, a group of 3 Triceratops in relatively complete condition, each of varying sizes from a full-grown adult to a small juvenile, were found in Wyoming near Newcastle. It is believed that the animals were traveling as a family unit, but it remains unknown if the group consists of a mated pair and their offspring, or 2 females and a juvenile they were caring for. The remains also show signs of predation or scavenging from Tyrannosaurus, particularly on the largest specimen, with the bones on the front limbs showing breakage and puncture wounds from Tyrannosaurus teeth. Tyrannosaurus sounds like a meanie. I don't think I would like to meet him very much. Dentition and diet. Triceratops were herbivorous, and because of their low head, their primary food was probably low growth, although they may have been able to knock down taller plants with their horns, beak, and bulk. The jaws were tipped with a strong, narrow beak, good for grasping and plucking. My jaws are strong too. Mommy can't get them open when I've got something naughty in my mouth, and that suits me just fine. Triceratops' teeth were arranged in groups called batteries of 36 to 40 tooth columns in each side of each jaw, with 3 to 5 stacked teeth per column, depending on the size of the animal. This gives a range of 432 to 800 teeth, of which only a fraction were in use at any given time. Tooth replacement was continuous and occurred throughout the life of the animal. The great size and numerous teeth of Triceratops suggest that they ate large volumes of fibrous plant material, such as palms and cycads. They didn't eat any meat. Meat is my favorite, except for sweet potatoes and cheese, of course. Functions of the horns and frill. There has been much speculation over the functions of Triceratops' head adornments. The two main theories have revolved around use in combat or display in courtship, with the latter thought now to be the most likely primary function. Triceratops were long thought to have used their horns and frills in combat with predators such as Tyrannosaurus. The idea was discussed first in 1917 and again 70 years later by Robert Bakker. There is evidence that Tyrannosaurus did have aggressive head-on encounters with Triceratops, based on partially healed tyrannosaur tooth marks on a Triceratops brown horn and squaw muscle. The bitten horn is also broken, with new bone growth after the break. Since the Triceratops wounds healed, the Triceratops survived the encounter. Tyrannosaurus is also known to have fed on Triceratops. Evidence for this includes a heavily tooth-scored Triceratops ilium and sacrum. In addition to combat with predators using horns, Triceratops are classically shown engaging each other in combat with horns locked. While studies show that such activity would be feasible, if unlike that of present-day horned animals, there is disagreement about whether they did so. The large frill may also have helped to increase body area to regulate body temperature. A similar theory has been proposed regarding the place of Stegosaurus, although this use alone would not account for the bizarre and extravagant variation seen in different members of the Ceratopsidae. Stegosaurus is Daddy's favorite dinosaur, and we'll cover him in another Wiki Wednesday this month. This observation is highly suggestive of what is now believed to be the primary function, display. The theory of their use in sexual display was first proposed by Davide in 1961 and has gained increasing acceptance ever since. Evidence that visual display was important, either in courtship or in other social behavior, can be seen in the fact that horned dinosaurs differ markedly in their adornments, making each species highly distinctive. Also, modern living creatures with such displays of horns and adornments use them in a similar behavior. A 2006 study of the smallest Triceratops skull, ascertained to be a juvenile, shows the frills and horns developed at a very early age, predating sexual development, and thus probably important for visual communication and species recognition in general. Can you imagine not being recognized by your mommy and daddy? That must be very sad. I'm glad Triceratops had a way to tell each other apart. My lovable cuteness sets me apart from all the other doggies at daycare. I've never gone home with the wrong family, not even once. But my pinecone collar and leash help too. I'm a well-themed pup. Paleopathology. One skull, assigned to Triceratops, has a hole in the jugal bone. It looks like a puncture wound sustained while the animal was still alive. This is supported by signs of healing that are present in the bone around the supposed wound. When examined closely, the hole in the bone has a diameter that is very similar to diameter of the distal end of a Triceratops horn. This is evidence of competition between individual dinosaurs. I hope this was just from playing. I had to learn from other puppies how hard I could play without any of us getting hurt. Wow, I sure learned some interesting facts about Pi-ceratops today. Unfortunately, he is the only Triceratops I'll ever meet, as dinosaurs are extinct. But I love him all the same. He is so squishy and squeaky, and he makes such a good pillow when I lie on the big bed with my family. Next week we'll learn about another dinosaur, and maybe it'll also be one of my stuffies. And come back on Friday for the next chapter of Master Frisky for Fiction Friday. Thanks for hanging out today. Bye.